Now on CoastTV News.
Somewhere for kids to go.
We want to serve more. We want more kids in our building.
Congresswoman Sarah McBride backs the expansion of a Georgetown youth center.
Dog, beach, leash. Beach bans and leash laws have some pet owners on the coast worried.
A walk in the park.
I'll definitely use it.
Deep Branch Park gets the green light in Milford, but not everyone's on board.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Here's a live look into Milford on this gloomy, rainy day. Good evening. I'm Christina DeRobertis.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Madeline Overturf has the night off. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with stormy weather here along the coast.
We're going to take a look at conditions throughout Delmarva earlier today. This was around 1 o'clock in Ocean City. Lots of rain, lots of wind, puddles. You can see the roads look pretty slick there in OC. People definitely having to use their windshield wipers and their headlights today.
And this was around the same time, but in Dewey Beach, you can see the gloomy skies, the strong winds, just an all-in-all gray day for you.
And here's a look at Milford around the same time this afternoon. Lots of rain coming down pretty hard downtown. Definitely the kind of day you want to stay inside, maybe have some soup. We're going to take a live look now into Ocean City. Still pretty rainy and gloomy there. And we're going to turn it over to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams, who knows best. Paul, is the rain going to ever stop?
Oh, yes, it sure will, because we talked about this yesterday, because Christina specifically wanted to stop raining on Thursday. So she put in her order early, and that's going to happen. But today, that doesn't hold. We're about 1.5 inches or close to that for Slaughter Beach, Harrington, but well over an inch all the way down towards Stokely. Now, not only just there, but some other locations, we were above an inch for us in Indian River Inlet, Dagsboro, Delmar, just shy of that in Georgetown. But our official Georgetown site, we were beyond an inch of rain. Just shy of that in Rehoboth and Laurel. See, our official site in Georgetown, we're at 1.01. 1.25. We've actually upgraded that to 1.25 for Ocean City. There's been a newly issued coastal flood advisory. This is talking about inundation for any towns that are next to a large body of water. That could also include Millsboro for that matter, but Long Neck, Lewis, as well as Rehoboth and over towards Ocean View. And then we have the winds that are picking up momentum as well, because we have a small craft advisory. But you'll also notice that we have the rain that's pushing through. This is the backside of that wave. So, hey, the rain's going to start backing off a little bit. That's a good thing. Now, the question is, it's going to come back. Now, exactly when, I will pinpoint that and show you what I'm tracking. But for right now, back to you, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. Moving to Ocean City, new regulations could be lifted in some areas. In residential areas, visitors are limited to 2 people per room, and right now, there's a 5-night minimum length of stay. That's going to be challenged by referendum later this year, but the town is also looking to lighten regulations on some multifamily homes in those same neighborhoods. Think of those as everything from duplexes to condos. And in Ocean City residential areas, there are a lot of those.
We don't want to take away their ability as a multifamily property if they were legally permitted in order to rent.
According to the council, all these new ordinances were meant for specifically single-family homes in residential areas and plan to update the ordinance to not affect the multifamily homes in residential areas. This brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know, what's your biggest concern with those multifamily homes?
Let's take a look at the updated results from last news hour. You can see 12% say overcrowding, 52% say parking issues, 12% say rule evasion, 24% not concerned.
And if you haven't voted yet, it's easy to do. Go to coasttv.com or use the CoastTV mobile app. We will show you updated results tonight on CoastTV News at 11.
Well, here's one classroom and one office around the corner. It's the current setup at the Georgetown Boys and Girls Club, and a big reason why that organization is looking to expand. This morning, Delaware Congresswoman Sarah McBride stopped by the club to announce a $6 million funding request that could help the club build a much bigger and better space. CoastTV reporter Zakia Jennings shows us how that funding would benefit the community.
Sitting at the table in the gym of the Georgetown Boys and Girls Club is Congresswoman Sarah McBride. To her left is Club Director Renee Hickman.
What about those students that we serve, that their minds are wide open and they're free to learn, they're free to be the best people that they can be?
Hickman says she'd like to see more resources going towards the Boys and Girls Club, a place that helps build bright futures rather than to the prison system.
For me, it's just, let's turn the dynamics of what that looks like around. Let's make the facility that houses children and their betterment larger than one that is the outcomes from poor decisions.
Adriana Harris joined the Boys and Girls Club in 2001 when it was held at Grace United Methodist Church in Georgetown. Harris is now the program director and says there's an unmet need for growth.
Our biggest component is space, like capacity-wise. Like, we can have up to 110 kids in here, but we don't have enough space for 110 kids.
However, she's hopeful, especially after today's meeting and tour with the Congresswoman.
We want to serve more. We want more kids in our building. Like, you know what I mean? That's what we do as a family. We work together. We're here to help the parents, the staff. Like, our end result is to have more people like me.
The team at the Boys and Girls Club hoping the voices of the community will be heard and that those on Capitol Hill will pour into the future. In Georgetown, Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
And Coast TV did speak with McBride about the process to get that funding. According to McBride, going through a traditional congressional appropriations process dramatically increases the chance of getting community-enhancing investments. McBride says she's taking that traditional process now, and if all works out, the community funding should be finalized, passed through Congress, and on President Trump's desk for his signature by the fall.
Staying in Georgetown here, the town is looking for one person to fill an empty seat on the Planning Commission. The position runs through May 2026, and applicants must be at least 21, a U.S. and Delaware citizen, and live in Georgetown. The commission handles zoning, land use, and development issues, so the applicant should have an interest in urban and rural planning. Letters of interest are due by noon on June 20th.
Now you're looking at a 21-acre plot of land on North Bedford Street in Georgetown. It's about to become more housing. In a 4-1 vote on May 27th, Georgetown Town Council moved forward with the request to change this land from single-family residential to mixed residential. It will add 60 single-family homes, 28 duplexes, and 20 townhomes. And we did speak with Sussex County Habitat for Humanity about providing workforce housing in this project. To see what they said, you can check out CoastTV.com.
In a Milford meeting May 27th, the City Council voted to approve a contract for a new city manager. The job comes with a $195,000 salary and moving expenses. Officials say the candidate has 30 years of experience and is from out of state. One local says the salary is reasonable as the city manager handles the city of Milford.
Making sure everything gets done, and you have a lot of reporting and a lot of sort of record keeping that you got to keep up with, and regulatory things that you have to keep up with. So it's a pretty big job.
Another Milford local agrees with the pay as Milford is a growing town, and he hopes to see more new ideas and methods of growth.
Staying in Milford, the City Council approved plans for Deep Branch Park off South Rehoboth Boulevard last night. As Coast TV reporter Emma Aiken shows us, the decision has left some neighbors celebrating, others concerned.
Right now, it's just an open field, but these 19 acres in Milford will soon be transformed into something called Deep Branch Park. In a 5-3 vote, the City Council approved the long-debated plan, which includes a walking and biking path, a playground, more than 7 acres of open space, a basketball court, a pickleball court, and more. Dog owner Miguel Silva, who lives right next to the land, says the park is a great idea.
I'll definitely use it because I drive 1.2 miles to that little dog park down the street from here. So I go there like every day almost. You know, just I might be able to for 10 minutes, 15 minutes and run around or whatever, and I come right back. But having the park there, I'll definitely I'll take advantage of that.
But other neighbors like Connie Pusey say they're disappointed.
If they're that interested in pickleball or they're that interested in playing basketball, there are other areas they can go to. They don't have to go here. And right now, it's to me, economically, it's not a good time for this.
Both Silva and Pusey are worried about additional traffic due to the park. And the process isn't complete just yet. City officials say more approvals are still needed from the county and other state agencies before things can move forward. For now, the field stands still as hope and hesitation grow side by side. In Milford, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
We are just getting started tonight.
The Richard Allen School broke ground today in Georgetown, the school's historical significance.
We've had rain-drenched roads all day long, and we could see more impressive showers, believe it or not, over the weekend.
But first, pups on the beach. The rules you should know when you bring your dog to the beach. That story when we're back in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Well, there are lots of dog lovers here on the coast, and a lot of them like to bring their four-legged friends to the beach for a bit of fun.
But with the official start to summer just weeks away, rules are now in place that can limit when you can bring your dog to the beach. Coast TV News reporter and anchor Brandon Ferguson shows us when you can and when you can't hit the sand with your favorite Fido.
Walking your dog on the beach, a peaceful activity that many of us enjoy, but in towns like Dewey and cities like Rehoboth and Lewis, you're not always allowed to do so. Some dogs say they're not big fans of these restrictions. Starting in Lewis from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., no dogs are allowed on the beach, and your dog must be leashed at all times. In the nation's summer capital, no dogs are allowed at any time on the beach or the boardwalk. Zoe Elsie was walking her dog in Rehoboth Wednesday and says beach restrictions could cause a safety problem.
I mean, it's kind of awful because we don't really have sidewalks down these roads, so it puts owners in a complicated position. Also, most of our dogs, my dog's super friendly.
For Lewis and Rehoboth, the rules are in place until September 30th. Heading down the coast to Dewey Beach before 9:30 a.m. or after 5:30 p.m. are the times you're allowed to bring man's best friend to the beach. That's where Greg Gonzalez runs Jungle Jim's Total Pet Care. He thinks other coastal communities should follow in Dewey's footsteps.
I think we love the fact that Dewey's a dog town, and we think that Rehoboth should kind of learn from us a little bit and think, fully. We obviously love dogs here, so we're just excited to have the doggies here, and they should be able to go on the boardwalk, in our opinion, too.
Rules are in place in Dewey Beach until 1 week after Labor Day. In Dewey Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
And over in Ocean City, dogs aren't allowed on the beach or boardwalk from May 1st through September 30th, but there is a spot just for them. The Ocean City Dog Playground. That's located at 94th Street and Bayside. It offers daily, multi-day, and annual passes, but registration for that is required. And we do have a full list on seasonal pet restrictions on Delmarva. You can go to coasttv.com and search dog restrictions.
Well, shouldn't be too many restrictions on your golf game tomorrow. I mean, unless you just have a terrible handicap. We're looking at good conditions and temperatures in the 70s. Not so breezy. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Everybody's quiet today. Nobody's talking to each other. It's just the gloomies. Everybody's suffering from the gloomies today. We're going to all get back to being bright and sunny with our personalities and our weather as early as tomorrow. There we go. Our gutter helmet camera. Yeah, we're still in the middle of the gloomies. Look at how gray it is. Even the camera lens is gloomy with raindrops on it, making it hard for it to actually focus. We're looking for those sprinkles to stick around until about the 9 o'clock hour. Now, we're hovering about 60 degrees, a little below, a little above for most locations, but most are just at 60 in general. We're at 59, for example, in Long Neck, Dagsboro, Bethany Beach, Indian River Inlet, as well as Rehoboth. The winds picking up a little more momentum coming out of the east-southeast at about 29 mile per hour gust recently recorded at Indian River Inlet, with a 26 mile per hour gust recorded in Millsboro. Now, with those winds lapping the way they are, they're helping the water kind of push up a bit as well. So we have a newly issued coastal flood advisory, places like Millsboro, Backwater, Long Neck, Bottom Hills, Dewey Beach, as well as Lewis as a result of that. And the wind advisory is in effect as well. Now, the small craft advisory is talking about 25 mile per hour wind gusts. That's one concern that we have. Now, we also have a beach hazard statement that's indicating that we have a concern for possible rip currents near the Ocean City Beach all the way down towards Chincoteague as a result of this combination of wind and rain. And it's also a bit breezy on the other side of the peninsula for the folks that view us in Cambridge with 25 mile per hour winds there. The good news is this: most of the yucky stuff is moving to the north out of our way over towards Atlantic City and getting out of the way. And I see a bit of emptiness is happening for us a little bit earlier ahead of schedule. Well, the rain showed up a little bit earlier, so it's okay if it can leave a little earlier as well, right? Low pressure system that's helping to keep things stirred up is going to stay well to our south. And as we have a push of warm air coming in out of the south, we're looking for cloud cover, but not rain just right off for Thursday. You see, tonight we settle down with cloudy skies in 60. And you'll notice tomorrow we'll even see a smidgen of sunshine around lunchtime, which is going to be a treat considering the lack of sunshine we had access to today. Thursday evening, temperatures in the 70s, really warm. Winds are pushing out of the south. Now, Friday is where the problem comes in, okay? You see this? By noon, we're looking at a possible thunderstorm near Seaford, Ellendale, and along Highway 24. Now, that clears out for that part of our viewing area. As far as from Ocean Pines down to Snow Hill, Thursday mid-morning, we're clear. Thursday night, we're clear. But Friday, here's where the problem comes in. We look for scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms that just kind of pop through. I used to refer to this as popcorn showers in the summertime because they just pop up and randomly with that pattern. But by 1 o'clock, I'm going to keep a close eye on this possibility late Friday going into Saturday as a possibility. And then we're looking at the amount of rain that's going to begin to be tapered off a bit for us as we're going to Saturday going into Sunday. So tonight, 58 showers. Tomorrow, we get a break from the rain, but then Friday, it comes right back here again. Finally, here's a look at the extended forecast.
All right, Paul, thank you. Well, renovations to the Richard Allen School broke ground today in Georgetown. It began as an African-American school prior to desegregation. The building was closed and left vacant for years. Now the school is planned to reopen for a new generation of students. A former student tells us they're excited to see the school's return.
I was sad when they closed it, and I feel good about the school being gonna serve the community, and that it'll be in use again, because we didn't want to see it just sitting idle and then they would be able to tear it down. So I feel real good about this.
Now, once the main building is finished, a gymnasium with additional classrooms is planned to be built right next to it.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
A night full of rainouts here on Delmarva. Let's start with our game of the night, which was supposed to be this morning. The Shorebirds have already had their fourth home game postponed due to inclement weather. Delmarva plays 2 with the Hickory Crawdads beginning at 5:05 tomorrow. Our next broadcast from Purdue Stadium is going to be this Friday. The Shorebirds are a pretty hot ticket right now. The Orioles single A affiliate is 9-4 in its last 13 games. The weather also moved a number of Delaware State playoff games to tomorrow. Starting in girls soccer, Polytech's Division I semifinal against Appoquinimink has been moved to tomorrow at 6 p.m. Meanwhile, Caesar Rodney's battle with Tower Hill in girls lacrosse is now set to take place tomorrow at 4 p.m. And Sussex Academy and Cape Henlopen square off for the other spot in the girls' final tomorrow at 4 as well. Cape Henlopen lacrosse is on as scheduled. The Vikings are 1 win away from their 6th straight title appearance. Cape has lost the previous 4 championship games to Salesiana. We'll have highlights from that one on the Final Score tonight at 10:30. That'll do it for sports.
Well, let's take a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Good news, we're looking really nice on Thursday. No more rain. Not so good news. We have the rain coming back Friday and Saturday. But then back to the good news. We're back to being dry on Sunday, and then we clock the 80s next week.
All right, quite the roller coaster. Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.